Hey Insurance, this is Tony Cañas, Chief Motivational Officer at Insurance Nerds and PNC Client Advisor at the Jacobson Group. October was a busy month that saw me hit both Disney World in Florida for the CPCU Society In2Risk conference, followed shortly thereafter by Las Vegas for InsurTech Connect 2021. That was followed almost immediately by a family visit to Ohio and speaking at Gamma Iota Sigma at my alma mater, Iowa State University. Not Ohio State, Iowa State University. When I finally got home after this whirlwind 6,000-mile tour, I started going over the conference swag that I somehow miraculously didn't lose and found printed copies of 5 insurance magazines, much to my girlfriend's chagrin, of 5 insurance magazines. To be exact, 4 magazines came from the conferences and 1 arrived in the mail and found its way with its brethren into my conference bags. It took me a couple of weeks to get through all of them, but I found several interesting articles that I want to take a few minutes to tell you about. First, I went through the Q3 2021 edition of Carrier Management, a magazine that I've always enjoyed, but which has annoyed me repeatedly because of their expensive and restrictive paywall. Luckily, they've recently changed the rules, and you are allowed a certain number of free articles per month. The Q3 2023 issue was guest edited by my friend and #1 InsurTech influencer in the world, the fabulous Italian Matteo Carbone. It includes an article about achieving organizational goals with scenario planning and one on how the claims process is getting a DE&I makeover. Both of those are pretty good. Then I found a Jacobson 50-year anniversary ad, so very, very proud. Then I browsed a few of the other articles, but the one that I really recommend, the ones that I really recommend are Not Your Grandpa's MGA, which does a great job looking at the growing phenomenon of digital MGAs, many of which will probably turn carriers eventually. And the 6 articles co-written by Matteo are all excellent. In my opinion, the clear standout, cannot miss article being How a Mutual Insurer Achieved More Than 300% Return on IoT Investment, which goes through a case study of how Church Mutual achieved success with a well-planned and well-executed IoT play. But there's a Matteo article for you regardless of which part of the industry you play in. Highly, highly recommend this issue. There's a great article on managing your time and a couple of great articles on insurance talent, including one which includes some quotes from my teammate and friend, Brett Carter. Definitely, I cannot miss. Then I read the September 6, 2021 issue of Insurance Journal, also published by Wells. I've been a longtime fan of IJ, although I'd gotten lazy in the last few years and had lost the habit of checking in every other week when the new issue comes out. IJ is fully available for free online, but I hadn't gotten my hands on a printed copy in several years. My favorite articles were on marijuana and cyber. Also, the one about insurance talent titled How the Pandemic Changed Employment, which makes a good case for why the insurance industry is staying remote. Although they're a little more shy than me to full-on call for remote to stay compared to my own perspective. Then I read the Big I Independent Agency magazine, September 2021, which celebrates the 125th anniversary of the Big I. I love the general theme of celebrate the past, embrace the future. I think this is exactly the right approach to the future of insurance. Celebrate the past, embrace the future. This issue was chock full of great articles, with my favorite ones being Helping Hand, How to Support Your Remote Employees, and A Perfect Storm, which is about M&A activity. There's also a very interesting article on how to model your return to office plan on a well thought out return from parental leave plan. Very interesting. Even if I disagreed with that a return to office is imminent, at least for most carriers. There's also a great update on Congress's efforts for a pandemic insurance program. Finally, the Forward Together interview with new Big I president Bob Free does a great job of talking about the talent crisis we're living through. And there's also a great article about the importance of public speaking. Huge fan of that one. Then I dug into the printed version of Insights, the professional journal of the CPCU Society. The ransomware cyber article was pretty eye-opening, and my friend Tony Coto's article, Talk Insurance to Me in Plain English, made some very good points, even if the other Tony forgot to mention Insurance Nerd's World's Simplest Insurance Glossary, which would have been a perfect fit for this article. It's okay, I forgive him. By far, the most important article in this issue, in my opinion, is the economic cost of inequality and injustice by Dr. Jim Jones and 3 co-authors. Finally, don't miss Mike Koselmi's short article on how to become a leader. Finally, this last weekend, I dug into the last one of the magazines, Alternative Risk, a new magazine by Jeremy Columbic and Jeff Clade of the Muppets Take Manhattan. This is by far the one that I enjoyed the most because it deals with topics of insurance I'm least familiar with. I learned a ton about captives from every possible perspective. The standout article from this issue is your insurance plan fitting like an ill-cut suit? By my friend Patrick Callahan, the insurance elephant. Some of the articles were a little too technical for my very limited understanding of captives, but I'm sure they'd be valuable for those that actually work in that space. You can find the online version of the magazine at altriskmag.com, and I highly recommend you check it out if you've been curious at all about captives. Also, while I didn't pick up a copy during this trip, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my very favorite printed insurance magazine, Last Agent Standing by Chris Paradiso's team at Paradiso Presents. If you're in the agency space, you owe it to yourself to read it and to go back and read some prior issues also. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this gave some of the newbies some awesome ideas on some of the many great publications that serve insurance. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.